MaJaMa Jams is brought to you by this circumcised Cossack.
Funny to say, comparing it to ghosts.
I like
A mirror! A mirror!
Oh, it's a funnel cake!
MaJaMa. MaJaMa. MaJaMa.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Stephen Ryan Parker, who has three names, so he must be from Boston. Apparently, he's here researching a book with his girlfriend. The book's title is
The Blair Witch, History or Hysteria?
Hysteria or history.
Why is it you guys can't get on the same page about the witch anyway?
Welcome everyone back to the MaJaMa Jams month-long Halloween spooktacular, coming at you for year number 2. Ha ha ha! The so-called cerebral safe. Ha ha ha!
Tutto in questa testa piccola, cosiddetta cassaforte cerebrale. Io, il ragioniere.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, 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 if I can see you over there. Welcome so much. We are so excited to be back in that time of year, the spooky season, every American's legally required favorite season of the year. And we are here in our brand new, what will we say, the Halloween pit, the Halloween little nook, the little nest, perpetuated with the usual paper and spooky Halloween accoutrement.
All right, this is the first episode of Halloween. We're doing 4 of these.
Tone back the voice.
I would say drop it.
Don't do the voice.
No.
Yeah.
What's another Halloween voice? Movie bad. So anyway, we are doing sequels?
No.
No, that's just a joke. That was the original plan, which has been scrapped, which of course I know because we communicate effectively here in MaJaMa. But today's movie is a sequel, Mateo.
Yes.
It is.
Okay.
Now, you guys may remember back in this year of our Lord, 1999, there was a cultural phenomenon that exploded onto the scene and left all of us forever changed. I'm, of course, talking about Eminem hitting the scene. Wow, what a lot of great rap music. But also that year, during the summer, trees have never been scarier than when we were treated to the Blair Witch Project. It was a massive cultural phenomenon, and just a scant year later, inevitably, like Thanos, we got the follow-up. Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. Had to see which was which. And there's no colon. Blair, you think it'd be Blair Shadow or Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows.
Yeah.
Or
But-
Blair, Book of Shadows, Witch 2.
Or 2, Witch, Shadows, Book of Blair. Otherwise known as hashtag W2BOSB.
Yeah.
So, we should point out right off the bat that Mr. Matteo Eagle Eye, Eagle Brain Molinari, he of the endless bubbling fountain of movie knowledge, said, "Hey, Matthew Ellsworth, that's watched this movie for over 20 years and supposedly loves it. Did you ever think about the fact that the title is Book of Shadows and yet there is no actual Book of Shadows in the movie?" Although I think there are some shadows, in fairness.
There's also a book.
There is also a book. but do they connect?
No.
So I was like, well, golly gee willikers, holy cow, I never realized that there isn't. But a quick look inside the booklet, back in the days when DVDs came with actual booklets with essays by the director.
Booklet of Shadows?
The Booklet of Shadows.
Booklet of Shadows.
Very good. Back in the days when DVDs actually had some fucking supplementary material in them, there's an essay by the director, and he says a Book of Shadows is traditionally, it's an actual essay in there. A Book of Shadows is traditionally a witch's diary of incantations and personal musings.
Damn. You're really running bullshit central here, aren't you?
Which was meant to comment on the... He has a very long thing about... He wanted to comment on the phenomenon of blurring the reality and media-inspired violence of the first movie. So...
Wait, what are you talking about?
I don't know.
So the Book of Shadows was a way of commenting on... I'd have to pull it
Things.
up. It's in there. But that's why it was, because right off the bat I was like, what is this Book of Shadows? So Matthew, who apparently has seen this more than any of us, is going to give us the breakdown here.
What fun is that? You should give us the breakdown. You don't know where you are right now.
I guess he's right. Yeah. That's going to be funnier. Okay, so 5 people go into the woods because our lead, basically named Jeff. Oh, and all the leads are using their real names, not last name but first names. I suppose
That's to give some kind of realism.
In a nod to the first movie, I guess.
That was one of the things, and then apparently the people are marketing didn't like the names, but it was way too late because the movie was already shot.
They didn't like the names?
Yes.
The names, at least of their words.
There are a lot of bad ideas in these movies, and we'll sort of get into those.
Don't forget, this is Trite Nite. You should have added
Is it?
You know it is.
Welcome back to MaJaMa's Trite Nite, a show where we dogpile stuff that's already been needlessly, endlessly dogpiled by the internet. And today's no different. Okay?
Yeah.
I heard that.
So,
Perfect.
Book of Shadows 2 opens with a real documentary about the citizens of Burkittsville, Massachusetts. Maryland.
It's not a real documentary.
He said it was. So, in the essay, I learned that our...
More than a documentary, it's just like they're taking clips from the news and the MTV.
But the main character is in the documentary.
Yeah, no, but the very first
Well,
part.
the reason I say that is because apparently this gentleman was a documentary filmmaker before this, with I believe 3 films. This was his first foray into fiction, and so he speaks on the ironic nature of a documentary filmmaker making a sequel to a supposed fake documentary, but not wanting to make a fake documentary again, but that the intro starts off with a real documentary he did about the citizens of Burkittsville being upset by the phenomenon and the horror fans littering their town like gnats.
Get out of these woods and go home! There is no goddamn Blair Witch!
Swat them away, get out of our woods. This is not a real story. So, we have our entrepreneur, Jeff, who is obsessed with the Blair Witch and selling t-shirts, selling those famous cross-stick patterns on his website, and he is kicking off the inaugural Blair Witch tour, Blair Witch hunt, where he's going to take these people into the woods. We have a couple who's doing a... Stickman. We have a couple who's doing a research book on
the Blair Witch.
The Blair Witch, right? And then we have a Wiccan who is teamed up with Jeff.
She's got red hair.
In the beginning?
Teamed up.
Isn't it?
No, she's just the first one to arrive.
Yeah.
Oh.
What do you mean teamed up?
I thought that in the beginning they were like, oh yeah, Jeff, like you, she's really hot.
No, she was just the first to arrive on the tour.
Yeah.
We've always been misunderstood. We embrace nature, not evil.
No, that she was hot. So she shows up, and then we get Kim Director, who plays a goth, and her last name is Director. Yes. And I really wish she was a director just for really dumb humor. It's really disappointing there's a woman whose name is Kim Director, and she's in this movie, she's not the director. That's my vision of America. So, we once again have our group of people out in the woods, and they start taking them to the campsite. They run into a rival Blair Witch group, which I thought was a high point of this conceptualized idea.
What the hell are you guys doing here?
We got a tour group, the Blair Witch Walk. What's your excuse?
Tour group, the Blair Witch Hunt!
Dude, no, I don't believe this. You know, you're supposed to look out for stuff like this. This is so not happening, man.
We have jurisdiction here. We have permits.
A rival Blair Witch tour group shows up. They send them off. They have a wild drunken orgy as they progressively get more intoxicated as these things seem to happen.
We don't know what happened.
We don't know what happened. They wake up. Everything is torn to shreds. There's paper everywhere. Sound familiar? There's paper everywhere, torn to shreds. His reports, our characters' reports have been torn to shreds. Everything's destroyed. They go to Jeff's house, which is like a paranoid haven of an old factory locked up, complete with surveillance everywhere and artifacts in his Blair Witch shop. And things start to happen that we can't tell if they're happening or not, basically escalating to hallucinatory, you know, did I kill someone? Was there blood? What the hell happened? Escalating until the police show up and they're wondering, what the hell? Look at these tapes we have from the surveillance. They show you guys killing stuff. They think they didn't do it. And we end with that dude screaming,
That tape is wrong! That's fucking bullshit!
They fixed the tape, they fixed the tape, they fixed the tape.
I don't think
he was really excited because he wanted to put something up on the wall. His kid's drawing, but the tape dispenser. These are the jokes.
How did you know?
Okay, look. Either you ring this stuff up, or I call your manager.
I am the manager.
Really?
Yeah.
Well then, Peggy, could you tell the bitch at the front register to do her goddamn job?
Get the hell out of here.
Not until I've completed my purchase.
So, Matthew, you used to be obsessed with this movie. It's been a while since you've seen it. What did you think about Blair Witch 2 in this modern time?
I've seen it before.
MaJaMa.
I said that.
So did I.
In more, about
Less
a year,
demanding times?
about a year ago.
Oh.
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 Why?
I guess it's a great question. I don't know. I guess it's Blair Witch is one that I watched on loop. All the time back in the day when it first came out. I remember we saw it with Mom and Dad in the theater, and they absolutely despised
They were
it.
pissed.
The original
The
one?
original
Oh,
one,
okay.
yeah. Because I was 13, 13, 14.
They were really pissed, and
They
then
were
we
really
just had to
pissed,
sit
but
there
those
again and be
Rs,
like,
okay.
wow, Mom and Dad are artless
Wait, was
stooges that'll never understand us. Sorry, I'm just kidding.
Okay, I need alcohol.
Was it R?
Yeah.
For language.
Oh.
Come on. No, I'm not fucking scared. I'm just tired. I'm hungry. I'm fucking like... I'm just fucking done, man.
All right.
I'm just fucking done.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, that's what they were pissed about, too. And at the time, I was obsessed with ghost hunting and Weird NJ, a magazine that New Jersey had.
Oh,
They
yeah.
always post all the haunted locations, so we would go ghost hunting on the weekend. So this kind of fell into that time period where I was just obsessed with ghosts and obsessed with the idea of walking into the... there was this tract of woods behind this pizza shop we'd always go to after school throughout the 4 years of high school with my group of friends. And we'd always go and explore those woods, so I think it was always reminiscent of that. And this just kind of fell into that time period of, hey, this is another Blair Witch, and just became a repeat offender.
How did this happen?
Not sure why, but watching it this time, it definitely slogged more. But
really did.
In fairness, I think in the past it was more so like a passive background viewing. At least when I always put
Sick.
it on as repeat.
The party viewing.
Yeah, but I was always by myself.
Oh.
Just made it sadder.
When's the last time you talked to her?
Email 2 days ago.
Are you sure she didn't just change her mind?
Yeah. Kim!
I've got to find my wife and get somewhere that has some sanity to it. Mark, will you settle down? We're looking for her. Susan!
I was actually, when we started this off, I was like, you know, this is probably the best possible way.
If you're gonna do a sequel and make it somewhat reminiscent of, hey, we're gonna watch footage that we took in the woods. How do we do that again? Oh, the characters are in this fictional sequel get filmed in the woods. They got to go back and watch these tapes to figure out what happened because no one remembered what happened the night before. So it's kind of a way to do the first movie in a fictional setting.
No, I think it's amazing. I think this is the best possible way to do this sequel. I could completely imagine coming up with this treatment and being like, yes, absolutely, let's go in. This is 2000,
I can imagine coming
so
up with it too.
I don't remember this has obviously become not necessarily a trope, but the meta handling of the sequel, a la Human Centipede 2.
Martin, I'm here today because your mother is very worried about you.
He keeps on talking about a centipede with 12 people. What does that mean?
I don't know if anyone has another example, but the Human Centipede
plenty.
2 is definitely a direct parallel to this. I do think this is the best possible way to do the
Gremlins
sequel.
2.
Thank you. Excellent example.
Just re-released on video is the movie Gremlins, though I really can't imagine why. Now, I know some people found this movie fun, but me, I'd rather spend 2 hours having root canal work done. What's fun about a movie full of ugly, slimy, mean-spirited, gloppy little monsters who run amok and attack innocent people? Our moviegoers so desperate for entertainment that this kind of trash and cast for fun. Whoa, wait a minute!
No.
Yeah. It's not as, but yes, he's right. It is the meta sequel that kind of plays on what the first one was. So, Human Centipede 2, Blair Witch 2, 2 Degree Gremlins 2.
Who is the number of the day?
I do think that this is a great way to do it. I love the opening documentary. I think that sets the tone for what would be a great execution of this idea. I think, like I said, when they are up at the campsite and a rival Blair Witch tour arrives with some foreign tourists, and they're like, what the hell, dude? We thought we claimed our territory.
Can we see this thing? Coffin Rock,
Coffin Rocker. Blair Witch, go to Coffin Rocker.
Jetzt hör mal gut zu. Ich bin nicht extra aus Berlin gekommen, um ein paar Bäume anzugucken, okay? Ich habe viel Geld dafür hingeblättert, also lass uns los. Ich will dafür was gesehen haben, okay?
Yeah, whatever. It's your money, Greta.
They got Chinese people and German people.
Yes.
Who don't seem like they can speak any English.
No, and yet they communicate
Yeah.
somehow.
Do the tour guides speak 3 languages?
Probably. I don't know. I doubt it.
I'm sure they were doing the classic sitcom thing when a person needs to speak Spanish. Excuse-o, help-o, to O-L, hotel-o.
Does that work?
It gets the trick across.
It's like that wonderful joke on your favorite Jerry Lewis movie, The Geisha Boy.
Oh, one of them.
Yes.
The gay sex boy?
Excuse me, do you know where Kimmy Sicketa's house is?
私英語わかりません。
I said, could you tell me, please, where Kimmy Sicketa's house is?
全然わかりません。
We don't understand each other, and the subtitles are all mixed up.
One day, the walls are going to crumble. One episode's going to catch a wave.
Kind of already there.
Yeah.
And we're going to be horrible people. So to me, the peak of this concept working is the rival group showing up. I don't think it's ha-ha funny, but I do think it's a comedic idea that this is a big enough phenomenon that you have rival groups clashing. Hey, man, I brought my tourists here. I brought my tourists here.
Let's put it this way. One of us is staying here tonight, and it's gonna be us or you. And it looks like us, you little bitch.
It's gonna come back at you threefold, man.
What's she saying?
Well, in the Wiccan tradition.
Shut up.
Your balls will fall off in 3 days.
However, I did notice as it went on and as it's supposed to be escalating and getting more into the hallucinatory madness, I really truly found myself more and more bored.
You're not making a believer out of me, son.
I was really with it in the beginning. I thought this is a cool way to
What
do
were
it.
you bored by?
I know it's a comedic question, but I don't think that we
Genuinely?
ratchet up. We don't escalate the tension in any way. So to me, it starts fresh and it's kind of enjoyable. You know, they're out in the woods. The party scene's a little, okay, they're always partying in the woods, but it's nicely done enough that it escalates till they black out. But once we get back to the building, I don't know, it just seems like a bunch of like, did you do that? Well, who was it then? Well, did you do that? Who was it then? Well, why is this here? Well, who did that then? Well, why did that break? Who did that?
Did I do that?
Well, they got to ask these questions.
It just really
Can't
felt
just take all it.
like a friggin' slog, more and more and more.
The moment that they say, who used that? Who did that? Who are you?
Who are you?
Who am I? What am I?
Green?
Yes, when he plays the twins.
Right, okay.
So seamlessly, because he's just like, it's kind of like Jeremy Irons in Dead Ringer.
Here I am. I've been really looking forward to this.
Well, Claire Neveu, this is my brother Elliot. Hi, Claire. I hope Bev's told you what a big fan I am of your movies.
No, he hasn't. As a matter of fact, he hasn't mentioned you at all.
Really? That's not very flattering. Well, are you going to sit down?
Illusions come to life. So, yeah, I was I was pretty friggin' bored this time. It really got worse as it went on, and I thought whatever goodwill was created in the beginning kind of left.
I need a beer.
The cast, Jeffrey Donovan would go on to a pretty decent career. Burn Notice most notably jumps to mind.
Oh.
Alongside the god himself, Bruce Campbell. He was the lead in Burn Notice, I think, for a good chunk of seasons.
Okay, easy one. Who led the Finns in sacks 06?
Finns and sacks 06.
See, Mike, these are the important things in life. This is what you miss when you're running around the world with a satellite phone and a gun.
Jason Taylor.
You want to blend into a new city, you better be up on local sports.
Drink.
The others are unknowns.
Yeah,
kind of across the board. I mean, maybe intentionally so with the spirit of the first one.
Is the same thing that when Paramount purchased the Paranormal Activity, that they wanted to remake it with stars. And thank God that idea.
Sometimes they really live up to the cliche of the cluelessness to art.
Well,
so,
this movie is a good example, because I'll tell you.
Oh, okay, so Mateo talks about The Secret of Ezra Miller, which is apparently a special feature on the back of this.
No, that's beyond the point. No, it's the whole movie itself. Because they made, to quote Jason, they committed a cardinal sin of interfering in a movie process. The other movie that I remember being like that, it was Exorcist, the beginning.
Come sit with us, Lancaster. I promise I won't bite.
Joseph, run.
He's mine.
Run.
Which I think that Paul Schrader directed it, and he did a fine job. But then they say, oh,
it's got to have an end too.
No, it has to have.
I got it.
So Paul Schrader did Exorcist, Exorcist the beginning, and then the production company said, "Oh, it needs to have more jump scares because The Exorcist is famous for jump scares." And so they
don't really have too many.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah, it was a sarcastic.
Got it.
So they hired Rennie Harlin, who shot about 90% more of the movie. So it came out as Exorcist the beginning, and then the Paul Schrader version, which to me is far superior, came out as Dominion, The Exorcist, the same day that one of the Star Wars prequel came out. So it got
really,
yeah.
Which one do you remember?
Maybe the.
It was 99. Was Phantom Menace. So yeah, 2005
probably,
or
yeah.
something.
Say it's dedicated to him. Some pagan god of these parts.
And it was incredibly disappointing because he had a vision.
No. Never. Continue.
And this one was the same. At Arslan, they wanted to do more of the same for Blair Witch Project, but something different, which is always incredibly complicated to do. And apparently there were 3 different scripts circulating, and none of them satisfied the director.
You're a long way from sane.
So he came up with an idea inspired to Luigi Pirandello's 6 personaggi in cerca d'autore, or 6 characters searching for an actor, looking for an author, or searching for an author. I don't
Isn't
know.
that a Twilight Zone episode? In the box?
But so he came up with the 5 characters were all archetype of the people. There is the white witch, if you will. There was the black witch who thinks that she has the power. There are the 2 skeptics who are studying, and there is the entrepreneur individual. And he wanted to do this as a slow descent into madness. And in fact, at a certain point, very early in the movie, there is a line that he said that the protagonist says,
Video never lies, Kim. Film does, though.
we are to believe that what we see in the video is what actually happened, and not during the film.
This is surprisingly cerebral for this piece of shit.
No, listen.
Yes.
That's I'm
But-
sorry. Go ahead, because I held the whole thing based.
But
She genuinely scared me.
see, that's exactly what the people at Artisan say. Oh, it doesn't have jump scares or something. So they forced the director shooting all the scene of the butchering and stuff, which he did in his backyard, apparently 5 weeks before the movie premiere was set to premiere. So imagine how great it was. And they inserted it, and then they re-edited the movie in different orders. So the whole descent into unraveling, if you will, into madness makes no sense whatsoever right now, because you say, okay, are we supposed to be sympathetic with these people who probably are killers? So we know it from the get-go. So who give a damn about them?
What the hell are you talking about?
Or what?
Yeah, it's also kind of thing where it just kind of ruins the element of
Yeah.
surprise of.
And
are
instead,
they-
the idea was, and if you go online on the interweb,
that didn't exist back then.
it doesn't exist, yes. No, but now it does. You can actually find the instructions from the director how to re-edit the movie to see his version.
What?
And his version is far superior because he got rid of all the stab, 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 blood, 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 and everything. And he even
Walk, walk, walk. Skip,
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 skip.
skip.
Walk, walk, walk. Skip, skip, skip. Tickle, yeah.
He also had a huge ironic fight with the producers because they wanted to remove the miscarriage scene, because they say, "Oh no, that's too graphic." When they insisted to add all the stabbing and the blood and the thing, and eventually he won that fight because the scene is in the movie. But that's the stupidity of these people, who have no idea.
Matteo,
That's me.
I believe you.
Because it's more traumatic than seeing someone killed on.
Apparently,
it's a baby.
Apparently, because they say they thought that was real.
There's no baby out there.
Listen.
There's no baby out there.
I don't understand.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
I don't understand why anyone, as the years go on, I've gotten zero. Like, they'll be like, well, it's the big show and you have to. That's the answer. It's the big show and you have to. Otherwise, every story is like, hey, the prize of being involved in the industry is that a bunch of dickless, inbred, artless douche nozzles come and be like, we're the reason you have money for this, so do X, Y, and Z. There's nothing we could care about less than your vision. And I'm sorry.
They come to the set and say that daily?
They said that to
Yes.
my face.
They
I'm
also-
so sorry.
They
There's no
hired a
reason.
plane to actually bring
There's
the
no reason.
banner.
Everybody
I'm sorry.
outside.
hey,
Hey,
there's no reason.
touch me.
I'm sorry. I know what people think of me. So they're like, oh, you're just being a child. But there's no reason to get involved. They ruin everything and they have nothing about them.
Yeah.
This is all. They're like, we have money, so whore yourselves. They shouldn't. Okay.
Damn. You're really running bullshit central here, aren't you?
So one thing that's really awkward is when people are like, hey man, are we supposed to care about these characters that did this? And I'm like, oh, I love when characters do stuff. I wish you could show me a character that stabbed someone in the face, because I understand that fiction is not reality, so I want really bad, unlikable characters. And everyone's always like, hey man, are we supposed to like these characters? I'm like, oh damn, I feel weird again. Like,
I don't
no
think
one
you need
does.
to like a
Not in
character.
this case. I'm just saying it happens a lot. Like one time I read The Sailor Who Fell from the Sea with Grace, which is a novel by a wonderful Japanese author who, in my douchiness, I forget in this moment.
Because he's
Arthur
Japanese?
recommended him, but there's a nihilist boy character that our lead gets into, and he has this very seductive thing
Gets
about
into?
they are eventually going to kill the father. And the nihilist boy is spawning these philosophies to the kids, and I read a book review, and it's like, oh man, the philosophies of the boys are terrifying. And I was like, oh damn, I thought they were riveting. I forgot that I have a skewed version of looking
I
at the
mean,
world.
they're riveting because they're terrifying. Two things at once.
You're welcome.
You know what, Matthew? You really have a way of breaking down everything I try to say and reducing it to nothing. You know,
At this point in our lives together, what am I supposed to do?
Maybe-
Nod and smile and say, "Oh yes, that's very insightful.
Maybe
Please tell me
once
more."
in your life, you're like, yeah, hey, that's kind of an interesting point that my brother brought up. You know, you're just like, well, Jason, if you look at it through my eyes, you're nothing. So, guys, here's what it is about Blair Witch 2, is that in this booklet, which I read some of what Mateo was talking about, Matthew, like you said, holy crap, that's quite a cerebral mission statement for this movie. It sounds like from what Mateo is saying, a lot of it is due to the tampering. But if you read that essay in there, you would think this guy is conducting high art of like friggin' Godfather levels.
He probably wanted to.
No, I
He probably
applaud
could have.
him. This is what's been an interesting lesson to me, even though it sounds moronic. But I think the public in general, a movie translates as bad, like let's say the general consensus. You know, we can never find truth with a movie, but let's say a movie where the general consensus is, oh, that was kind of bad. I think there's this moronic thing, even with someone like me who's just obsessed with the movies, where when the movie comes out a certain way, you're like, well, they didn't attack it with passion the way they did. They were probably on the set like, yeah, we got to do this stupid Blair Witch sequel. I just want to get a ham sandwich, so just set up the cameras and go.
Is that a cigarette or a joint?
If you, come on, man, you know the difference.
You could smoke it. I smoked joints or blunts like that.
But when you read that, this dude is describing this with a passionate, cerebral,
he had a vision
philosophical vision.
I'll tell you what's going on here.
I think, well, plus when you got, I mean, you could say, you could dismiss a lot of the success of the Blair Witch Project, but the fact that it was a cultural phenomenon, had people believing it was real and thought it was actual found footage, I think might have inspired
Paranormal Activity and Blair Witch are the gods of found footage.
But it might have inspired them to be like, hey, that was a very cool thing they were able to pull off and actually trick a lot of people into thinking this was real. What can I do with an actual fictional sequel now?
Right.
So I think he was trying to do...
No, I absolutely believe he had every intent of the world of being like...
Did you read the essay in the booklet?
I'm going to attack this with complete passion and vision, and it's illuminating and depressing the...
He even wanted to start the movie with Frank Sinatra's Witchcraft. And at Artisan they say, no, put Marilyn Manson or whoever is the singer.
I mean, Disposable Teens is pretty dope.
It is great, but it changes completely the value.
Yes.
Because Witchcraft, it lulls you into this, and then it creeps...
Manson's expected.
How'd you have the stomach for that?
As awesome as it is, and I will also say
although
that
I think I'm thinking of watching this now in 2023 when Manson all seems vintage.
Yes, that's the great thing. Well, that's what I was going to say is this soundtrack, while I don't recognize many, I did recognize a System of a Down song playing ever so quietly in the background in one of our earlier scenes. The soundtrack is completely indicative of its time.
And it's great. The actual soundtrack is great. The composer went to also record sounds from the forest incorporated into the music, and is very subtle.
We could flip the DVD over.
And there is a soundtrack on the,
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying is that it's interesting,
You didn't know that.
If you bring up, I just always go right to it because it'll never not be the most famous good movie. Yes, I did air quotes. The Godfather. Sesenya is going to have something to say about that. The Godfather, like, oh, of course, they must have toiled and worked so hard. But like Blair Witch 2, yeah, Blair Witch 2, I bet they worked hard on that. And it's like, no, they did. And that is an overriding theme, which I find interesting, is that mostly, and the reason I rail so hard against the cynicism movies, because they feel like nothing but a business move, you know, mostly every movie, even no matter how it comes out, is attacked with passion, which would seem a basic, but I find an interesting lesson. I really like the visual of that.
Steven, I think I'm going fucking crazy.
No.
You lost a lot of blood. More than usual. It was for the best. Your body's telling you something was wrong.
Something was wrong.
Why did Eduardo Sanchez not direct?
Or what about Daniel Mernick?
They offer it to them, but I think that they didn't want to be attached to, again,
the same crowd.
What else are you gonna do? What happened
well,
afterwards?
right now they're doing their separate projects, and now
Edward
they
is
came
about
back
to be
together.
featured in Satanic Hispanics. And if you remember, it might have also been Edward when me and you went to the premiere of the found footage Bigfoot movie through one of Sheila's friends.
Eduardo.
Probably, yes.
He was like, and one of my biggest inspirations, because it was found footage, and he brought out, I think, Eduardo.
Yeah.
Get back to the tent! Get back to the tent! Let's go! Oh my God! Get in the tent!
Wait, so what? Do you know what he's done since Blair Witch?
Blair
I mean,
Witch.
he's done movies.
No, yeah, they've done separately some movies of various
Always
degree
remember-
of success.
Wait, the other guy. Who's the other guy?
Daniel Miernick and Eduardo Sanchez.
They directed Blair Witch together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always remember that Rob
And I think
McKittrick-
that they offered them this, but they are just the executive producers. Even if I don't know if
Their
it
names
wa-
popped
it
up.
was just like I don't want to say a gift to say, okay, we're using the name of your characters and the images, but to say let us do whatever we want. I don't know how it actually went.
I don't know.
The only thing that I know is that the director did have a vision for doing a sequel. There was not a sequel. It was supposed to be a satire as well as something that made you question what actually is going on. But it got butchered by the good people at Artisan who had no idea what they
And
wanted.
what the hell is Artisan? I haven't seen that.
Fartisan.
Did they have the original Blair Witch?
Yeah.
They
You
did.
hear that laugh? For a base level fart joke, and we knows it does it, it's amazing. Hey, Rob McKittrick, director of Waiting, they offered him the sequel, and he said, I didn't want my second movie to be a sequel, so he just wrote it. And then on the behind the scenes on the DVD, he says, joke's on me because I haven't done a movie since.
How did this happen?
I don't know if it's happened since then, but I found that a resonant anecdote.
Yes.
I always thought
Period.
that Still Waiting was better than any direct-to-DVD sequel to a boner waiting comedy ever should be. So,
It's not really a lot of competition.
What?
Well, the same reason why
I like-
Spielberg didn't want to do Jaws 2.
Yeah, if you're a good person, you don't want to be trapped in that.
The first sequel that Spielberg actually did, officially, it was The Lost World, Jurassic Park.
And he regrets it.
Because even
Does he?
Yeah.
even Temple of Doom is a prequel. Intentionally starts 1 year before Raiders.
But it's still a.
Still is a prequel.
But then what about Last Crusade? Who directed that?
He did it, but is not really a sequel. It's just like
No.
it's another
No.
adventure.
I mean,
It's like the James Bonds.
No.
Only the last 5 James Bonds are connected.
But I mean, a sequel is categorized as a movie that comes out after another movie. You can't
Yes,
start bringing a timeline.
but it should carry over.
That's just something he tells himself to sleep at night.
It should.
I cannot agree with the fact that The Lost World will be the first sequel. I understand philosophically what you're saying, but I don't...
It's but that's what he said, and I trust him. He's never lied to me before.
Is he here?
Why should?
Let's
Maybe.
bring him out.
Spielberg's over, man. He can't make event movies anymore. He drops Fablemans, gets a requisite nomination.
Yeah,
Fableman's
more
a
like
wonderful
faggot.
movie. Oh yes.
So,
Jesus.
Whoa. What the hell was that?
let's talk about our 5 unappealing leads.
You thought the redheaded girl was really sexually attractive.
Yes.
Actually, I was shocked by how attractive I thought she was. Like, it was really insanely attractive.
That's just because she took her top
The end.
off.
This is all we can say about the 5 characters.
I think for what this requires, Jeff, if that is his name in the film,
Jeff Donovan.
Yes.
Jeff Donovan does a good job at his kind of quirky, somewhat wacky.
He's got those friggin' packed sun leggings.
I mean, that was a
with the-
time. We all wore those leggings.
Did you?
By the way, Mr. Director, do you realize that ever since we started, you're actually covering your face with your knee because the camera is right over there. That might
Well,
help.
whose idea was it to have my already curved shrimp back sit on a floor so that we can exacerbate the effects of my scoliosis by the time this month of filming is over?
4 days.
4 days over. 4 days stuck in here. So, There's no reason to get involved with the studio system. No one's ever given me a valid reason. They're just it's a vicious thing where they're like,
we're talking about the characters.
Oh, right. So the character. So Jeffrey Donovan of Burn Notice is adequate.
And he knows,
I wasn't that enthralled by him.
He knows Bruce Campbell.
What?
He knows Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Must have been nice.
I heard that.
Bruce Campbell's got an OnlyFans now.
What's up?
Bruce Campbell's got an OnlyFans now.
Please tell me that's true.
It's true.
What does he do?
He whips his dick out on camera.
The couple, I feel like, is mostly just serviceable. They're kind of boring.
It's pretty funny though. Got some crazy one-liners.
How many Heather Donahues does it take to screw in a light bulb? How many?
Just one! Just one of them!
Yeah, me and Matthew always crack.
No.
Physically.
I mean, do it. Don't touch it.
I think it was me and Matthew always cracked up at the they dipped their hands in the blood and put them. What the hell are you
talking about?
They dip their hands in your blood and then they press them on your body.
What are you talking about?
It's really easy to laugh at, similar to what happens to Tom Cruise in Eyes Wide Shut. You know, obviously Eyes Wide Shut isn't a comedy, but to me there's always been something painfully hilarious about the ordeal that Tom Cruise goes through at the orgy. He has to sneak in there. He's already bewildered. He gets outed. He has to take off his mask in front of all these rich people. He's probably terrified about what just happened. He gets home, stumbles into the bedroom exhausted, probably never in his life has wanted to just collapse down more. And Nicole Kidman is frigging crying her eyes out saying, "Sweetie, I just had this dream. There were all these men and they were effing me over and over again." And when you look at it through the lens of that poor schlub coming home just wanting to collapse, I damn near cry with laughter when she starts saying that.
No.
So similarly here, this poor son of a bitch, she's just walking up babbling all this insane crap throughout the movie. So I find them kind of boring, but yes, we've always kind of laughed at the comedic thing. We're like, they dip their hands in the blood and put them on. What are you talking about? But that kind of sums up, like I said, once we get into the house.
But I mean, you need the comedic relief too. So
yeah.
I'm sure that's why they chose her for that.
No, that's just us laughing at it. That's
a joke, man.
What are you talking about?
I completely forgot what we were talking about.
Doesn't matter.
So we have Jeffrey Donovan, we have the hottest redhead on earth, we have boring married couple, and we have Kim Director as technically our lead. She's the first name up.
Wait, you're saying she was first billed?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Jeffrey Donovan was only a star post Burn Notice.
But they both have a last name starting with D. Although I guess hers is D-I versus D-O.
But the movie is all descent into madness, so it could be also.
What did you guys think about Kim Director's performance?
I like her scene in the liquor store a lot when she's talking to Peggy.
Yeah, you laughed.
Yeah.
I am going to make this so easy on you, Peggy. I told you to get the hell out of here. You touch me again, and I will rip out your goddamn throat.
It's very jarring and depressing watching this movie, which I think is kind of boring across the board, but I truly believe between what Mateo's saying in the essay and the book there, which I think is very cool that they had that.
By the way, there is an essay in the DVD.
It's right here.
This one?
In case you've missed it.
Let's just put it on screen and stop filming.
It seems genuinely depressing to be like, hey, thanks for hiring me. I've been busting my ass to come up with a truly creative, satirical vision of kind of taking down the first movie. I think it's been really good. And they're like, yeah, no one cares. We're just going to rip you out of here and tell you to make more blood. And it's like, I'm sorry. I just don't get it. Will you just blindly plow ahead so that maybe one day you can have a bigger vision?
You have something like the Blair Witch Project make so much money and get such a fan base, which really has little to no blood in it. Aside from like the teeth or something she finds in the finger.
Oh, the little unwrapped is like the package they unwrap.
There's no gore, so I'm like, okay, that built a creepy, unnerving, claustrophobic tension of 5 people stuck in the woods, or 3 people stuck in the woods. So you think you would have been at least been like, okay, we're gonna try to make a sequel to it. Why don't we try to ape that a little bit more than go for a straight up horror?
It was harder because back then. Probably half the people who went to see the Blair Witch Project went with a morbid taste.
They can't follow this up.
No, of
the
seeing.
Original,
they were convinced. Yeah, they were convinced to see real people, the last moments
Oh,
of real
right.
people. And so, how do you deal with
You
that?
can get that on Instagram now.
Yes, but how do you deal with that without redoing that and treating to a degree the audience with respect?
We found more tapes. They were under that rock this time.
Yeah, they were over there.
Bradley Cooper in The Hangover 2.
I think it's happened again.
Why are we seeing all this shit, okay? Why is all this happening?
I don't know. Collective delusion. Group hysteria. It's what I'm writing my book about. You get a bunch of people together, you get them scared enough.
Dude, spare us the bullshit. Please.
Well, Matthew, you've seen, we said we haven't, but you've seen our long-delayed 2016 sequel. What I'm finding is interesting is that the first one is a fake doc. The second one is a supposed satire and a fake doc. By the time we get to the third one, I'm assuming it's just simply a movie? Like it's just a horror movie?
I'm pretty sure I watched it twice, halfway late and intoxicated.
You
And
intoxicated? Really?
I can only remember that there was woods.
Okay.
So you haven't seen it, basically?
I've seen it.
That's a start.
I think it starts with the brothers of. I don't remember it. It might be someone searching for their brother or sister that got lost in the woods.
Okay.
The legend says if you look directly at the witch, you'll die just from the fright of it. And that's why Rustin Parr stood in that corner. They say no one's ever seen her and lived to talk about it.
Or alternately, no one has ever seen her, period. This is all just stories, okay? I've been to these woods before.
Well, the important thing about Blair Witch 2016 is we've got a genuine Hollywood connection because our beloved Jen Liu from Bad CGI Sharks is married to Brandon, one of the leads in that movie. So we probably should have done that because that would have been cooler. But here we are discussing Blair Witch 2, Cock of Shadows.
And the secret of
the ooze.
Ersever.
Oh yeah, what's the?
Oh yeah, so what's the secret of Usher's Ver?
I'm telling just to them too because everybody else knows about it.
Everyone knows this?
Yes. So when the movie came
You don't
out,
know nothing.
when the movie came out in VHS, there was this mysterious secret of S-rever, which is reverse backwards. And in one of the supplementary material scene, there are letters flashing on the bottom of the screen. If you play it in reverse, it will give you clues, which I think are, and I'm sure that I misremembered them, but there is grave, door, water,
and buy more Ovaltine.
Be sure to drink your Ovaltine. Ovaltine? A crummy commercial?
probably is a mirror.
That was flawless reference.
And window or something like that, but whatever. And so if you're watching the movie, there are clues into the movie, like faces that in a reflection are not the face of the people.
They put a lot of thought into this.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. And plus there were the famous "Seek me no further" or, which is Seek appears between the flames when they are on the first night that they are camping. Seek me appears when Erica lays down onto the grass, and close to her there is me onto.
Did you just
in flowers
read this again?
No.
Yeah,
it's
he's
a known
crazy, right?
fact.
Mateo's crazy.
No.
He's like,
I know that.
Yeah, I haven't thought about this in 17 years, but here's a complete.
No, but you're breaking
exhaustive
down each of the
breakdown
scenes and what they say.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that.
That's
and seek me. No is in a window.
We need to get him help.
Further is
get out of this locked apartment now.
Further is on the gravestone where Kim is laying down. The headstone changes from the name of a family, which is in the Blair Witch lore, to further in one shot. And or is on the rug. Oh yeah, rug is one of the words. Rug is on the rug where she is crazy.
No, I do remember now
So there
my
is
DVD
that.
or VHS saying, "Hey, if you watch this, something so special."
And a host of special features, such as select audio commentary from the director and composer, The Secrets of Esriver. Discover mysterious and haunting ghost-like images hidden within the feature itself.
Because there is seek me no further
That's crazy.
or.
I do remember that.
And when she says, "Oh, it's in reverse," and she speaks the words backwards.
It's backwards.
Go back to bed, Tristan.
The little girl backwards. Erica dancing. Backwards. Everything backwards.
What are you talking about?
Widdershins. Undo the evil.
What the fuck is a Widdershin?
Kla Niaga Lee Nerdlick 8.
When I told you this is important. Of course. So the whole thing is seek me no further or the children will again be free, which means stop looking for the witch. Otherwise, all the little children that you see in the movie, the hallucination that she has when she's driving, will come and torment you.
Why?
That's the witch. The witch curse or the witch purse, one of the two. I don't know, maybe it's a Gucci.
That's funny.
You know,
Yeah.
what I find interesting is that they got this out a year later, 2000 after 99, which is similar to...
Wow, that's how time works.
To them getting Secret of the Ooze out in 91, just a year after Turtles. And I always thought it was interesting with Turtles when I was looking up these grosses that moving so fast, it went down from about 130 from the 1990 Turtles to like 80-something for Secret of the Ooze, which is still decent. But I assume, if I remember correctly, I think Blair Witch, the original, cracked 100 mil because it was one, similar to Ninja Turtles 1990. It was like, wow, like an indie movie has never done this well because the budget was so low with like 100 mil. I am surprised that acting on it so quickly, getting this out the next year, and I believe having a Halloween adjacent release or fall.
Probably.
Definitely within the year.
Because I remember we were talking about it at school. I believe the
didn't go to
domestic
school
gross
with
was
you.
25, global gross was 45. So on a 15 million budget, it made its money.
How
but
are both of you
I just looked
retaining
that
the-
up.
Still.
So it's not bad for what the budget is, like you said, but it's such a massive drop off. It's only a year later, and it was a phenomenon. Is
Says who?
that either just how fast things move? Because to go from like 100 something to 25, regardless of making profit.
Well, don't forget, you had a whole. I remember all the MTV specials about the Blair Witch leading up to it, and
Oversaturation?
fake news special. No, just
No.
like you had a whole. Wait, what is happening? What is this? Why is this being released?
It
in
was
theaters?
it was a
These
god
are
level,
found
never
tapes?
before seen marketing.
And
Like,
also there
people
was
believe that was real.
Very poor word of mouth for this one.
It's real, dude.
Because a lot of people went to see it hoping, like a stupid example, Jaws, a shark kills people, Jaws 2, a shark kills people. That's pretty
How
much
can you
the
tell the
idea.
difference?
Yes.
Well, this one has a number 2 in
it
the front.
kills more people.
Oh.
Blair Witch, you see this thing that is very unsettling, and you see another movie that makes you think, and then plus with all the shuffling that they did, all the scenes, and I mean, it was almost like a punishment for the audience because at the end they really genuinely didn't understand what was going on. And so I remember.
I just don't think it was that good.
I remember stepping out of the theater with a friend of mine, and whom we both loved the original one, and I was saying, "What the hell did we just look?" The only thing that we remembered, and which I was looking forward to, was the
Redhead
ghost of the lady of the little girl walking backwards.
Oh, the backwards man, the backwards man.
Yes, that made me always laugh, and we imitated her oftentimes in.
What did you make us do?
Well, it's sad because I think for him apparently having such a vision, I think this is one of those movies that it's not even bad. It just kind of like flatlines in the middle of like when I was watching it, I was like, this isn't necessarily really bad, but I can't tell you how bored I got as it went on. Like it really lost me, and I didn't.
Yeah, as much as I think they're trying to recreate the idea of watching found footage, it's boring when you're watching someone else watch it and you know it's fake.
Now it's for years I was when I found out that the director gave the notice, the instruction, let's say if you want, to dismantle the movie and reassemble as he. It's kind of like the same thing. Not that it saved it, but it's much better movie. Raising Cain. The version that we saw was the theatrical one, but Shout made on the DVD.
John Lithgow in a dress?
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, honey, we've got to get back. Come to mommy.
Made also the version how Brian De Palma intended to be, and is much better. The progression is much
That
more.
movie was confusing as hell.
Exactly, like this one that you're saying. What? So yes.
Whack, 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 whack. Whack, 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 whack. Whack, 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 whack. How. I think this was a bad suggestion on your part.
Yes.
No.
So let's express.
No. It was good.
You just
Was it
said
good?
it was.
We're doing follow-ups to beloved movies. Partially. At least today.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's express our feelings by throwing pieces of paper in this new corner of MaJaMa Jams where we actually only have 3 segments every time now.
I'm confused.
Right? It's been 3 for a while.
What?
No, it's been 4.
4.
I know, I'm editing it. Yes, it's been 4.
You know what? You guys got to go first. I'm actually confused. I didn't even think about grading this
Oh,
thing.
yeah, same.
Mateo's going to start.
Okay.
Wait, Trite Nite, we still vote?
Yeah, you always throw us off with that.
Shut
Trite
up.
Nite's just
Shut up. You shut up. You throwing me off with...
You stop it. You stop it now.
Oh.
I go with 3 because as much as I recognize the wonderful work of Mr.
Frank Zappa.
Berliner.
Rick Arbogast
is the director.
Herbert Dicklicker.
It's I detracted 2 because of the stupidity of the people, the decision people who had no idea what they were doing, and it shows. So 3 for me.
Okay. Matthew?
I'm going to vote exactly the same.
For the exact same reason.
Yes. There was a bunch of nostalgia wrapped up in this because it was definitely something I watched a lot around my high school formative years. But watching it again, it was
boring.
Boring, yes, but it was all right to make fun of it with you guys. But it wasn't that bad that you have a fun time making fun of it.
Mediocre line, just right in the middle.
But overall concept, I think, was a great start to what should you do for Blair. What can you do for a Blair Witch sequel?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with 3.
What can you do with a Blair Witch sequel? You know what? I'm going to mimic my MaJaMa brothers because it seems... I mean, I know exact middle of the road would be 2.5, but I want to tip it a little more towards the bad side. It's going to be 1 and a 2 and a 3 to mimic the fellas because, yeah, it's just right down the middle. Not a place you want to be. Make it the needle go one way or the other. Make it bad. Make it worse even, but it's just a little blah. Blah. Blah.
Blair.
It's a little blah. A little Blah Witch project.
That's great.
Hilarious.
Blah Witch project.
MaJaMa.
I'm finished now.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls, we are here in the Halloween pit. We hope you're catching some vicarious, cozy vibes. We're going to be in here all month long as we have back to back 4 horror Halloween movies. What are they? We don't know yet, so you sure as hell don't know. But it's going to be a surprise each and every week here in the Halloween Cozy Pit. We're having a sleepover with your buddies. Thank you for coming, guys. If you're still here, drop the like and the comment. Make sure you're subscribed all spooky season month long to catch the new scariness. Got this little Frankenstein boy in front of us. We've got Chumley here wishing you a happy Halloween kickoff. And we'll be right back next week with an all new Jams in the Cozy Pit. Whoa.
MaJaMa.
Customers first. It's customers first.
F stands for friendly. When you're among friends, being friendly usually begins with some kind of greeting or intro. Whenever a customer moves into your lane, that's your cue to say something.
Hey, Elvira, I got something you can suck the blood out of.
You can find something to smile about in almost every situation, if you're professional about it.
Excuse me, sorry.
I'm finished now.
Now, how about that customer who unknowingly makes a mistake?
What the? You're with the witch people.
Lady,
I'm just here to buy groceries.
Witch! Next, react. Sometimes it's easier said than done.
I can have a problem with you too? No problem.
A smile can help a lot in handling tough customer situations. If handled correctly, customers understand.
Get the hell out of here! You touch me again, and I will rip out your goddamn throat.
Now we get to our final letter, T, which is for thank you. You're in the best position to end the customer's shopping trip on a positive note.
Keep your motherfucking change.
Customers first. It's customers first.